If you are unexperienced or a beginner with Zapier, then this mini course is perfect for you because in this video, I'm going to walk you through the whole Zapier interface, what features are available to you. I'm going to go one by one, so it's very easy to understand. And then at the end of the video, you are going to also learn how you can build your first automation, whether it's going to be a general one or an AI automation. All right, so the first thing we're going to have a look at is our dashboard. This is how it's going to look like for you when you are going to create an account on Zapier. The first thing here is that you can switch to AI view. So if I go and click on this one, you can see that I can switch to a completely new view where I can right now create Zaps with my prompts. Now this might be not available to you because right now I have access to AI beta features in Zapier, but anyone can get access to this and activate this in their profile. So what you can do is that you can go to this landing page over here, which is zapier.com/AI. I'm going to link it down below. And here what you simply have to do is to put the same email that you're using for your Zapier account. You can uncheck this one if you don't want to receive emails, and then you can click on get access to all AI beta features. If you scroll down, you can see that you are going to get access to not just the one that I have shown you right now, but all the other AI beta features as well. This is going to maybe change in the future, so just keep that in mind. All right, but we are going to switch to our basic view and the one that everyone has right now. We have the option over here to create a Zap from scratch. So if I'm going to click on this one, you can see I'm automatically redirected to start creating my Zap. We then have the option to start creating our Zap here as well. So I can go and write down HubSpot. Then let's say I'm going to choose Microsoft Dynamics 365, which is another CRM system. And then you can specify a trigger over here. So let's say that when this happens, so a new form submission on our website is created, then I can create a new lead in Dynamics, for example. And if I want to continue with this one, I can just go and click on try it now. I'm then once again redirected to the builder. And then the difference here is that you already have the trigger that you specified with the first action as well. We then have recent Zaps. So these are all the Zaps that you have been working on. And if you scroll down, you also get recommended for you. So based on the Zaps that you have been working on, Zapier is also going to be recommending you templates that you can use. So I can click on see more templates. And as you can see, many of them include Gmail. And that is because I've been working with Gmail quite a lot. So I get these recommendations. So if I'm going to choose this one and try it now, I am once again redirected to a Zapier builder with predefined trigger, as well as the first action that follows next. And then at the bottom of your dashboard, you get some announcements. And then you also have 3 different options. You can go to the Learning Center, you can hire an expert, or you can ask the community. In this part, I just want to mention that I would not really recommend you to go and create the Zap over here or start creating the Zaps over here. When you go and create a Zap with this button that is available to you on all the pages on Zapier, you can always go into the builder and start from scratch. And if I click on that one, you can see that I'm redirected to the Zapier builder, so I can start creating my Zap. And right now you have the total control of everything. So you can set up your trigger exactly how you want, as well as the next actions. All right, and if I switch to the AI view, you can see that we can create basically a Zap from our prompt. So here you have a few examples. So if I'm going to copy this one, save new leads from Facebook leads ads to Google Sheets and email me the lead in Gmail. I'm going to hit generate. And then from this prompt, you actually get the whole workflow created by AI. And so this is maybe a great option for you to kind of discover how you can try to save time maybe on your setups. But I would always recommend you to start from scratch because this is in beta feature still and it's not perfect at all. But here you can see we got the whole Zap created. So if I'm going to click on try it right now, I'm once again redirected to the Zap builder. And then based on my prompt, it automatically created the right trigger as well as the next 2 actions that have to follow next. All right, let's continue to another section, which is the Zaps. So if I click on this one, you are going to be redirected to a view that looks like this. Firstly, we have the search bar on the left side. So if I'm going to type down Instagram and I'm going to press enter, you can see I'm going to be able to find all these apps that I have created or have been working on that include the app Instagram or are just simply named like that. If you click on this small arrow over here, you can see where you can search for that specific keyword. I can search for all, or I can search for folder or Zap. And then in this example, we have 2 different folders. So the first one is home, and then we have final AI automation Zaps. So in the first one, which is the default one, where all these apps are going to be saved if you don't specify in which folder you want to move them. You can see when the last edit has happened, as well as you can see whether this app is currently running. Then you have a create button on this side over here. If I click on this one, you have 2 different options. options. You can create a new Zap or you can create a new folder. So if I click and add a new folder, I can give it a title. So let's name it a test. I'm going to hit done. And then we have a new folder created over here. If you want to delete the folder, you can simply press on the three dots and then you can just go and see all the options, rename, new folder, and delete. So in this case, I'm going to press on delete and I'm going to delete this folder. And just like that, we remove the folder. If you are right now in this section, private folders, you can always create a new folder with this plus button over here. So I'm going to click this one, test, and then done. And then you can see that in our section, private folders, we have a new folder that currently has no Zaps in it. You can also do different actions in bulk with your Zaps in the specific folder. I can highlight all of them at once, or I can specifically choose 3 of them here. And then if I want to perform certain actions in bulk, I can click on this arrow over here. And then I have all the different options that I can choose from. So I can move it to another folder, I can delete them, or I can select all, clear selection, or select just the Zaps that are currently paused. On the bottom here, you have the shared folders. If I click on this one, you can see that this is a paid feature, so you can try it for free or learn more, but basically this allows you to collaborate with your coworkers using shared folders. And then at the bottom you have important thing here, which is trash. So if I'm going to click on the trash, you can see we have all the Zaps that we have deleted before. The Zap can always be found in this trash folder, but you have to keep in mind that it only stays there for 30 days. All right, right now let's move to another section, which is the transfers. So I'm going to click on that one. And so here what you can do is that you can in bulk transfer data from one app to another. Remember, this is different from Zaps because Zaps and workflows are only transferring the data when the trigger happens. So this feature gives you the option to take in bulk the data from, let's say, an Airtable and then transfer all those records directly at the same time to another app, for example, Google Sheets. So I'm not going to show you the whole process, but just so you get an idea, you can create a new transfer over here. Then you have 2 different options. You can move the data one time, or you can move data on a fixed schedule. So in this case, if I'm going to click on run once, you are going to be presented with a window like this, and you want to simply click on create a new transfer. In this case, you want to specify the app that you want to transfer the data in bulk from. So let's say it would be Airtable. Then we are going to choose source data. So let's go with record. And then the destination app, in this case, could be, for example, Google Sheets. I'm going to choose that one. And then here you can specify your destination action. So in this case, let's just go with create spreadsheet row. And then you want to hit next. And here's where you have to finish up all the necessary connections. So you want to connect Airtable in this case, as well as Google Sheets, and then map your data in the last step. And then you can just review it and transfer the data in bulk at once. If I right now go back to the transfers, you can see we have the one that has been saved for us. So even if you don't finish the setup, you can always go back to it because it's saved as a draft. Right now, I'm going to just hit the 3 dots over here and you have all the options for this specific transfer. So in this case, you have the details, the history, you can run it as well as rename it. But in this case, I'm just going to delete it. So I'm going to press delete transfer. All right, so right now let's have a look at the next one, which is the tables. You can find it over here. Now keep in mind that this is a beta feature, so it's a new feature that Zapier has introduced recently. So in this case, you can see that you have 2 different buttons. You have create and help. The create one is going to simply allow you to create a new table. Now you can think about Zapier Tables as a database where you can store all your records in a table format. Then you are able to edit, add new records from other apps automatically, create new automations, as well as Zaps directly from that table. So in this case, you have 2 different buttons. You have a create one. If I click on this one, you can see we have a option to create a blank table. Then we have import data. So here you can import data from CSV, Airtable, or Google Sheets. Now, once again, this is in beta features, so potentially more options are going to be available later. And then you also have templates. As you can see, because this is once again in beta feature, other templates are coming soon. But here you currently have just one template that you can choose from, which is to-do list. You can search for different tables over here, as well as you can filter based on created date or name. Now, to just give you an idea how it looks like, I have created a sample. I'm going to enter the table I have created. And as you can see, it looks like a basic table. So it has different columns, and then you have different values inside each row. So in this case, we have first name, last name, company, and email. And then here you can edit basically anything anything the same way as you can in Excel, for example. So if I double press on this one, I can just rename it the same way as the values inside each row. So if I want to change the first name of this record over here, I can just go and rename it to Joe. And then you have the option to add new fields. So this is going to add a new column inside this table. If I click on that one, you get this overview over here. So you firstly name your column. So let's go with a test. Then you have a field type. So I'm going to press on this one. And then you can see you have different types of columns that you can add inside this table. So you can add text, long text, it can be number, currency, checkbox, drop down, email, and so on. Now the great thing is this button that adds a button inside each row, and then you can create a new Zap that is going to be triggered whenever you press this button. So let's go, for example, with text. You can also set up alignment and then also app icon like Slack or Salesforce to personalize your field. I'm going to hit create, and as you can see, it added a new column over here. We right now can go and edit this one. So I can type test over here, and then the record right now includes a new field that we can use in our automations. Now, how you can use this to create automation from this table? Well, you have two different options. So for example, you can create certain automation that is going to be triggered only for the specific column. So let's say in this case, we would go with the email. I'm going to hit the three dots, and then you have the options for this specific column. But here you have the option to create a Zap from this column as well. So I'm going to create a Zap, and then you are redirected once again inside the Zap builder. And as you can see, we have the trigger set up properly right now because it has our table ID over here, and it also has the trigger field, which is the email column. The second option, how you can create Zap automations, maybe from the whole table. So if you get, for example, a new record inside this database that you create here, you can go on the left side over here and click on Zaps, and then you're going to have an overview of all the Zaps here in this table. But you can go and create a new Zap over here, and then you have four different options. You can create a blank Zap, or you can trigger when a new record are added to this table. You can trigger when changes are made to the records on this table, or automatically add records to this table from a form or an app. So for example, if I click on this one, trigger when new records are added, you can once again see that we are redirected to the Zap builder. And right now our trigger is auto-populated, new record in Zapier Tables. So once again, we have the table ID. We can right now continue, and we can right now test this, whether it's going to find that one specific line row that you have seen inside our table. So I'm going to test this trigger, and as you can see, the test was successful. So we got our lead over here with the name as well as the company name with all the data, and we can right now use it inside our automation. So that was just a quick overview of the tables. I'm going to make a whole video about tables because it's a very interesting feature, so make sure to subscribe down below. All right, let's continue to another one, which is called Zapier Interfaces. It's also a beta feature, so I'm going to click on that one. Now, Zapier Interfaces basically allow you to create landing pages or even chatbots. So here, as a quick example, you can see I have created something so you know how it looks like. I have created a chatbot with the interfaces. It comes with very nice templates that you can use, and you can go inside and use this edit button over here. Then you are able to customize your chatbot however you want to. So you can add a greeting, prompt placeholder, you can set up the model that you want to choose, and then also you can set up your creativity. You can adjust the height and width of the chatbot as well. And then in the data section, you have the option to train this chatbot on specific data, but you have to upgrade for this feature. You can also trigger some actions when someone interacts with this chatbot. So when you place it on your website, the chatbot is then going to trigger a Zap that you set up here, for example. Then you have also a share button over here. So if I click on that one, you can see we have a URL link, which if I'm going to click on that one, we are going to be redirected to a new landing page that only includes this chatbot. So right now anyone can interact with this on this URL. You can also embed it directly on your website. You set up your height and width, and then you take this code and you place it on your website. When this feature came out, I have made a video how you can quickly do that and place this new created chatbot on your website. So I'm going to link it down below. But here you don't necessarily have to just create chatbots. If I'm going to hit the create button over here, you can see you have many different options. You can create social media planner, research assistant AI chatbot. You have the option to use this template, which is a block generator. You can also create simple CRM forms, and you have many different options that are always being added to this feature called Zapier Interfaces. All right, right now let's go to the apps, which is probably the most important one. So I'm going to click on the apps, and here's where you are actually editing and adding all the necessary connections for your Zaps. So here you can see these are all the apps that have been connected to my account already. And then you have the overview of how many connections you have to this specific app. And then you also have the number of Zaps that this app is used in. So for example, you can see Gmail has been connected and it's currently being used in 5 Zaps. When you want to add a new app, you simply go and press on this button, add connection. And in this case, you just search for the app that you want to add, that you want to later use for your automations. So let's say that I would want to connect Pinterest. So I'm going to click on that one. And then a new pop-up window comes up like this. And then you simply just have to either log in or give Zapier access to your account. So it really depends on the app that you are currently connecting. In this case, I can just go and give it access and the Pinterest is connected. So if I go here, you can see I have connected Pinterest and right now I'm ready to use it inside my workflows and automations. Now you can also connect ChatGPT and OpenAI. As you can see, I have already connected ChatGPT as well as the OpenAI. If you want to know what the difference is, basically ChatGPT allows you to create text and then you get the results in text format. But with OpenAI, you have other options, including creating AI images. I have a whole video how you can connect them. It's super simple. You simply just create API key and then you place the API key here inside Zapier and you are good to go. I'm going to link that tutorial down below. All right, so then we can go into the next part, which is the Zap history. So I'm going to click on that one. So here you're going to see the whole overview of your Zaps that you have run. So this includes the Zaps itself, but as well as the tasks. So here you can filter based on date. You can also filter based on the name of the Zap and then also based on the apps that you're using inside your Zaps. And then lastly, you can also filter based on folders. Now in this case, you can see you get the overview of the Zaps that have been successfully run. You also get the number of tasks that have been automated. And then specifically, you can see all the history for your Zaps. So in this case, we have this Zap that has been run. If I'm going to click on that one, you can see I have 3 different options. You can edit this one, view details or view runs. So let's say I would want to view runs and then I'm going to see all the times that this Zap has been run. So in this case, it was run once and it was a success. So we did not get an error. So here you are also going to be able to spot any errors with your Zaps or tasks. If I go back here, you can go to Zap runs, which is where we have just been. So I'm going to click on that one. And once again, you're seeing exactly the same screen. Here, I'm going to click on this successful Zap that has been run. I'm then presented with a very detailed overview. So here you can see whether it has been successful or not. You get the name of the Zap, and then you get all the tasks that have been used inside this Zap. So firstly, you are shown the trigger, which by the way, is not included inside the number of tasks. So just keep that in mind. You are not paying for the trigger, but here you can see that it has been successful. So I submitted the form on my website. It came to my HubSpot CRM system, and then successfully the email was sent to us saying that we got a new lead in our CRM system. All right, so let's go to another section, which is get help. So if I click on that one, you can see you are automatically redirected to a help center where you can find more information. So for example, you can learn more about Zaps, apps, your Zapier account, as well as tables and interfaces that we have just gone through. All right, and then lastly, what you get on the left panel is the current plan that you are on. So here you can see this is a demo account and it's running the free plan. And here you get an overview of how many tasks you have run and also how many Zaps you currently have on. So in this case, on this free plan, we have total amount of 100 tasks that we can go with throughout the month. And then also a maximum of 5 Zaps can be turned on at the same time on this plan. Now here, once again, important thing is that towards your tasks that you use throughout your month, the trigger is not being counted. So here's a quick example that I've done on this channel. I've done multiple different examples on the AI automations, so you can check them out. But here in this case, I want to show you how many actual tasks in this specific Zap are going to be run. You can always go and count the number of your blocks inside your Zap. So in this case, it's 5. You can see it by looking at this number over here. And then what you do is you simply use use the formula n-1. So if you have 5 blocks, you do 5 minus 1, and that is 4 tasks. So if this Zap runs only once, you are going to use 4 different tasks towards your plan. So just so you get an idea about what is trigger, action, and task. Trigger is the first app that is triggering the flow. You don't pay for it, and it's not counted towards your task. Then you have the specific actions that you are performing. In this case, those are equal towards your tasks on your plan. Now you can always change your plan or adjust your settings on your profile. So if you go into your profile over here, you can go and click on settings. And then firstly, you can change your profile. So you can change your email, password, first name, and so on. And then you have the email notifications. So if I go into this one, you can get notifications when something has happened. You also get advanced options over here, which is, for example, two-factor authentication. You get some data management option here as well. You can export your data. So if you export it, it's going to be sent to your email in a zip folder. You have your billing and usage over here. So here you have the option to change or upgrade your plan. So right now on this demo account, I am on a free plan. So I can go and press on change plan. Then you can see we are redirected to the overview of all plans. And here you have the option to choose the plan that suits you. Once again, keep in mind the number of tasks and the number of Zaps that you want to turn on at the same time. So in this case, you can adjust the number of tasks that you want to pay for. If I scroll down, you can see right now that on the free plan, you have 5 Zaps that can be turned on at the same time. The starter one allows you 20, but the professional one allows you unlimited number of Zaps. But even with the starter plan, where you are allowed 20 Zaps at the same time to be running, you can see that you can adjust the number of tasks that you want, and you can even adjust that to 2 million tasks a month. Now keep in mind that those tasks that you save are not being transferred to another month. If you scroll down, you get all the features and its comparison to all the plans. So what is included and what is not. All right, so right now when we have the idea about the whole interface of Zapier and how it works and what features are included, let's go and learn how you can create your first automation. I'm going to press on create Zap. And so quickly what Zap actually is. Basically, you can think about Zap as a workflow. So it always starts with a trigger, and then you can add as many actions as you want. So those are going to happen when the trigger is going to be fired. And in this case, whenever we get a new submission on our website, which goes directly into our CRM system, let's say that we would want to receive email notification about this with all the specific fields that the lead left. So in this case, we can click on trigger. I'm going to use HubSpot, which is CRM system. And then firstly, we have to set up our event. In this case, you have many different options, but I'm going to go with new form submission. Triggers when a form is submitted. That is exactly what we want to do. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to continue. And right now, this is the part where you have to connect your apps. So here, what you want to do is that you want to connect the app directly over here. But as you can see, I have already done that. Or simply, you can do and connect any app prior to creating this app. So if you remember, you can go into your apps section and then add any app prior to creating your Zap. I have already connected my HubSpot, so we can continue. And right now, we have to specify which form we are talking about. I've created multiple forms on my website. So I'm going to click on form. And as you can see, we have 5 different forms. We have book a demo, support form, green unlimited quote, get a trial, or contact us. I'm going to choose contact us and I'm going to continue. And right now we can test whether it's going to find the lead inside our HubSpot. If I go on my website, I think you will understand it better. So here I'm going to scroll all the way down and I'm going to go into contact us. And here's where I actually embedded the HubSpot form, which then directly takes that information and puts it inside the CRM system. So I have filled out this form and we successfully got the lead inside our CRM system. So I'm going to press test the trigger and we got the results. So we got all the necessary fields that are in this form. So we got the country, first name, company, message, email, and last name. You then want to continue with the selected record. And right now the second action is going to be very simple. For the email notifications, you can either use your Gmail account or you can also use Email by Zapier, which is a built-in app that Zapier offers. In this case, I'm just going to use Gmail. In the event section, I want to go and send an email. I'm going to continue. I have already connected my Gmail account, so we can continue. And in the action, you have to specify all the fields for your email. So we want to send this email to. So I'm going to put the email where I want to send this notification to. You can set up CC, BCC as well. You can then specify the from. As you can see here, it defaults to a primary email address. In the from name, let's say that I would name it your HubSpot CRM. So that's how it's going to be visible inside Gmail when I receive the email. I don't need to set up any reply to. We can set up a subject line. In this case, I'm going to just write down new contact us form lead received. The body type, it can be plain. And here in the body, I can specify what is exactly going to be included inside the email. So I'm going to write down great news. You have a new contact us lead. Here's the information about the lead. And here, the great thing is that you can right now use the dynamic variables inside Zapier. So I can go back to my trigger and refer back to all the necessary information that is always going to be changing depending on the lead. So here I'm going to choose the name. So I can go with the first one. And then I also want to receive the country. So I can go and search for country region. And then inside the message, that is what the lead is actually writing down inside the form. So in this contact us, they have maybe some question or something. I'm going to choose the message variable and that's it. So that's good. You can set up your signature if you want to. You can also set up the label inside your Gmail as well as any attachments. But in this video, I'm just going to skip them. And then you press on continue. And right now you're ready to test this action, whether it's going to work. So I'm going to press on test the step. And just like that, we got the confirmation with the green check mark as well as that the email has been sent. And if I go to my Gmail, I can see that yes, it works. So right now I got the from email, which is your HubSpot CRM. Then we also get the subject line, new contact us form lead received. If I click on the email, you can see we got all the necessary information inside the email. And so right now you can just simply publish this, and whenever you get a new lead, you are automatically going to be notified via Gmail. But I also told you that I'm going to show you the AI automation and how you can add that there as well. So for example, we could add a new action over here between the CRM and Gmail. Let's say that we would want to use ChatGPT to actually summarize the message that we received through the form on our website. So you can go and add a new step over here. I'm going to add ChatGPT. Here in the event, I'm going to choose conversation, which is where we create a prompt and send it to ChatGPT. I'm going to choose that one. You can continue. I have already connected my ChatGPT with Zapier. I have a video how you can quickly do that. I'm going to link it down below. I'm going to continue. And then right now you can specify your prompt. In this case, let's say that we want to summarize the message that the lead has left inside the contact us form. And then the first thing you want to do is to write down your prompt. As you can see, writing prompts inside Zapier when you're using ChatGPT is a little bit different. So I put together a totally free no junk resource where I explain you the 3P framework, which helps you with writing down prompts inside Zapier. It's totally for free, no junk, and you can find it in the first link down below. So firstly, I'm setting up context. So you are a customer support agent who summarizes inquiries that potential customers have. Then I'm setting up another parameter here. It's called details. And I just want this summary to be maximum of 100 characters. You have so many other options. This is a very simple example. Everything is summarized in the resource. You have the option to add different parameters as well, such as style, target group, and so on. So I definitely recommend you to grab that resource down below. And then lastly, I'm writing the main prompt, which is summarize this message. And then in the brackets, I put the message variable or the dynamic variable that Zapier allows me to use right now because we have that information from our trigger. I'm going to keep this very short and simple. I'm going to keep the model 3.5 turbo, username, assistant instructions, as well as maximum tokens, temperature, and top P. I'm going to keep that as it is. I have the explanation of all of them on all of my automations, as well as specific videos about temperature or top P. So go and check those out. But here you're simply tuning the output of ChatGPT in the direction that you want. So you can change all these fields: username, assistant name, you are a helpful customer support assistant or agent. And I can write that in this case to tune and get a more quality output. Max tokens in simple terms decides the length of the output. And remember, one token is not one word. Here's an example of a paragraph that is 35 tokens. Then we have temperature and top P. I have different videos about those, so you can check those out. But basically it tunes the output a little bit differently, so you can make it more creative, more random, more focused, or more deterministic. We are going to continue, and then we are going to test this step. And then when we scroll down under response and content, you can see we got the output from ChatGPT. So in this case, because the message was, hello, this is a test, ChatGPT has summarized this one. This message is a test. And in the output, ChatGPT also gave this new line over here, and it's called summary, then test message. So these two lines is the output that we generated with ChatGPT, which is correct. correct. So we know that it right now works, so we can continue. And then right now we know that this summarizes our text. So instead of writing down the whole email, we can just have this summary be sent to our email every single time a new form is submitted on our website. So I'm going to just go into the action, and then I'm going to keep the same fields there as we did in the first example. Then I'm just going to add a new line here. Here's the summary of what the lead is asking about. And right now you can refer back to that ChatGPT conversation. I'm going to go inside conversation in ChatGPT. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and then I'm going to find something called reply. I'm going to add that into my email, and then I'm going to keep everything the same as we did in the first example, and I'm going to continue, and I'm going to retest this action and see whether it works. We got a green check mark, and we got a confirmation that this email has been sent. If I go back to my email, yes, it works. You can see we got the email here, and if I open the email, you can right now see a new line there. So here's the summary of what the lead is asking about. We got the summary that the ChatGPT generated, and then we also got the second line, which was included in the output as well. Alright, if you enjoyed this mini course or if you learned anything new, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to go into the first link down below and grab the 3P framework, which is completely for free and no junk resource, which teaches you how you can write your prompts inside Zapier when you want to create AI automations. I hope this was helpful. I tried to put as much as possible in a very short period of time. If you're interested in AI automations, then definitely subscribe down below because I post every single week. Thank you so much and have a great day.